takriban watu 800,000 hujitia kitanzi kila mwaka. Hii ikiwa na maana kuwa kwa kila sekunde 40 mtu mmoja anaaga dunia. Usilolijua labda ni kwamba hali hii ya kujitoa uhai imekithiri zaidi miongoni mwa wanaume ikilinganishwa na wanawake. Tarehe 29 Disemba mwaka wa 2015 daima itasalia kumbukumbu maishani mwa Wawero Muthombi, mwanaume mwenye umri wa kati na ambaye amewahi kujaribu kujitoa uhai si mara moja tu bali mara 3. Siku ambayo anasema ilibadilisha maisha yake pakubwa.
Yeah, I remember that morning I did my usual. Then I was still a drug addict. I've done drugs for about 15 years. And I didn't know that was just a coping mechanism for depression and anxiety that I was suffering from. So, and many a times I'd reach a point where hapa nimefika mwisho. So that was the peak of it. That morning, did my usual. And I think I went paranoia. I started seeing people that were not there.
Kilichoanza kama glesi moja ya bia kikageuka kuwa hulka ya kila siku. Ikawa Wawero hawezi kufanya chochote bila kunywa pombe. Mazoea yakageuka tabia.
I didn't have any reason of staying alive. Went to a shop, bought a rope, came to the house, hanged myself, and that was it. I don't know how people knew that something has happened in the house, but somehow walikuja tu wakanitoa hapo. Stayed unconscious chini for about 2 hours before regaining my conscious. And after that it was a journey of about 3 months before I went to the hospital, admitted and recovered.
Hali si tofauti kwa Brian Maina. Masaibu yake ya mzongo wa mawazo yalianza akiwa katika shule ya upili. Alikuwa anapitia shida si haba kutoka kwa familia yake. Shuleni alidhulumiwa na wanafunzi wenzake. Maina hakuwa na amani.
I was really struggling with all these challenges. Grades zangu ziko down, niko kwa shule ya provincial school. Grades zangu ziko down, maparo wana expect a lot. Mimi niko shule na struggle na kitu hata sielewi. Kila time niko down, most of the times niko low. Niko na feelings za hopelessness. Na feel tu yani niko hopeless kabisa. And that's when I decided to attempt suicide. The only thing I had and I thought of using at that moment was my school tie.
Kwa bahati, Maina hakufaulu kujitia kitanzi, na kila mara juhudi zake zilipofeli alijawa na hasira za mkizi. Baada ya muda mfupi ndipo alipogunduliwa kuwa na ugonjwa wa kiakili unaofahamika kama bipolar 2. Ugonjwa huu husababisha mtu kuwa na mabadiliko katika hisia. Wakati mmoja mtu anaweza kuwa na furaha zaidi na wakati mwingine akasononeka.
My parents ni born again Christians. My dad is a pastor. Yeah, they were trying to help me, but from perspective yenye walikuwa wanataka kunisaidia, it wasn't really helpful because apart from the spiritual support, which is a good thing, I needed the medical support part of it. Juu ile kitu watu wana ignore sana kuhusu ama hawajui kuhusu suicide. Or having suicidal thoughts. It's a symptom ya depression or any other underlying mental health issue.
Gumaiwa Ferdinand kadhalika anaishi na ugonjwa huo wa bipolar 2. Alithibitishwa kuugua ugonjwa huo mwaka wa 2014. Gumaiwa anatumia dawa ya kudhibiti hisia zake ambazo hubadilika mara kwa mara.
When I was on a manic, I experienced hypersexuality. So this is the first time I'm actually saying this. I experienced hypersexuality. And I have a heightened level of sexual desire. And this time I met someone during one of my walks. I usually go for a walk in the evening. And somehow we became closer than we should have been. And I fell. I it was hard for me, and because what resulted from that was a child. She conceived, and because I managed to cope, I managed to come out of that suicide attempt, and I managed to handle it through my support system, my parents and my aunt. I was able to handle this news that she was pregnant, and I was a father. I was going to be a father.
Lakini kabla yake kuitwa baba, mwanawe aliaga dunia akiwa bado hajazaliwa. Hili nalo likampiga mshipa, likamwathiri, akapatwa na msongo wa mawazo. Yamkini hakuna msiba usiokuwa na mwenziwe.
What happened is we go to hospital in Mbagathi. We went to the maternity, then we were referred to another section of the hospital. So I had to carry her. So I carried her, and I remember laying her on the bed, and I had blood all over my shirt. She also had blood on her dress. And my mother sent me away and told me, you've done enough. Just let me handle this now. So I disappeared into the dark, outside into the dark. Later my mom came and told me it was either her or the baby, and it's her. You've lost your baby.
Je, kwa nini hali hii ya kujitoa uhai imekithiri miongoni mwa wanaume zaidi ya wanawake?
One, men tend to use a lot of most lethal methods to suicide than women. Therefore, chances of succeeding in that process are very high compared to women. Number two, men tend to keep a lot to themselves, and especially in our African setup, where we are told men should not cry, don't show that you are weak, you have to be strong. So in the process of keeping themselves strong and not crying, they repress or they keep a lot of pain within themselves. And now this is what happens later on now. It comes out because they cannot be able to open. Talk even about financially. Look at the responsibility. Give a boy 100 shillings and a girl 100 shillings. In our society, you'll always find that men, it's like it's yours and your friend, but for the girl, it's just the girl on her own. And so we have been made to believe that men are providers. So if they cannot provide, then they feel they are more stressed. So there are so many factors affecting men to the extent of getting to that level of depression and even succumbing to suicide.
Kujitoa uhai kumekuwa janga la kitaifa. Hali hii imethibitishwa kuwa sababu inayochangia zaidi vifo vya watu wenye umri wa kati ya miaka 15 hadi 29. Wataalamu wa masuala ya afya ya kiakili aidha wanasema kwamba hali hii inaweza kuzuilika.
There are people out there trained like myself to help you deal with the challenge that you are going through. And it is okay not to be okay. You will not be at the top all the time. You'll be somewhere, but you can still be able to seek help and get help in a professional way where we ensure privacy and confidentiality.
Ama kwa hakika ni sawa kutokuwa sawa, kwani wasemao husema kwamba hujafa hujaumbika. Ila kosa kubwa ni kukosa kutafuta msaada unapokumbwa na msongo wa mawazo. Andrin Kilemi, TV 47, Nairobi.